Stated this is a special offering. So, and this is to help our church.
All right. Good morning once again. Can everyone hear me okay? Also, I guess one last quick announcement. Just pray for Letitia's kids. They were sick, Ethan, so they had to leave. She said she's going to take him to the docks right now because he was throwing up and everything. So just pray for him, then he can feel better. All right. Should have rehearsed this part. All right. Time is on my side. Yes, it is. Time is on my side. Yes, it is. Anyone familiar with that song? Yeah, I didn't know who sang it. I just knew I knew the song. So I looked it up. And it's a song pretty much where this guy is telling this woman to, hey, like, go have a good time, do what you're going to do, soil wild oats, whatever, live adventures and all this stuff, because time is on my side and I'll be here when you're done with all that. And for some random reason, this song popped into my head. Only those two parts, though, because I never read the rest of the lyrics until I did this sermon, because I wanted to see what it was about. But it's wrong. Time is not on our side. Time is from everything. You wake up and you have to worry about being late for work or for school. If you're going to go see a movie or a concert, you worry about being late for those things because time's not against you. Nothing is just immediacy. As you get older, your body ages and you get wear and tear and you get wrinkly and you lose hair and your hair changes colors and your kids grow up and they grow apart. Even if they don't grow apart in the sense where you're no longer connected, it's more of they have their own lives now. They have their own boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, whatever it is, and children, and now they're growing apart. The gist is, if there's anything you want to get done or accomplish, you don't wait until later to start. You start. See, because time isn't on your side, and the only time time's beneficial is when you make the best use of your time, right? So if you started working out right now, today, in time, you will be in better shape. Not today and not tomorrow. If anything, you'll feel extremely sore tomorrow and not like working out. And if you're studying for a test or for something else or for a profession, you won't learn everything today. But again, in time, you will. So for us as Christians, use your time for God. Use your time wisely for Him. Because in time, that is when you'll grow as a Christian. It doesn't happen instantaneously. It doesn't happen once you come out of those waters like, bam, you know everything and you're super Christian. No. Use your time. So are we using our time for Jesus? Are we making the best use of our time? We're always told, not promised. We don't know at what hour or day Jesus, but right now exists. Right now is here, so we should use our time wisely. Don't that will bring you nowhere. See, how you use your time, the time you have is very important. It determines what you're good at in life. It determines what you become, what you improve in, and also what you're going to be weak. So if you're playing video games all the time, or if you're surfing the net, you're going to have good knowledge on how to navigate through those things, but are you going to be good at sport? Versa. So we have to think of these things. So instead of using others as examples, I'm going to throw myself under the bus. Now, for some of you here, I have a medical condition called muscular dystrophy. I just recently found out it's called Becker's muscular dystrophy, so it's not as severe as it. And I remember when I first was diagnosed and I started physical therapy, I went through physical therapy and I was lifting 1-pound weights at this physical therapy place while there were like older ladies in their 80s lifting more weights than me. It was depressing. But I did this, and I continued to do this, and I graduated to just going to the gym. I no longer needed physical therapy. I was able to maintain it on my own, and I would go daily, and I was getting in good shape, and I was lifting more weights, and I was running more, and my cardio was awesome, and it was just like I was just getting really good and staying ahead of this condition. But I underestimated my condition. I got comfortable. So I stopped working out, and it caught up to me, and things got bad. I started to have pains and just bone issues that I didn't have before. So I started doing P90X, which is another workout thing. And every day I was at it. And again, I remember for the first time, and who knows how long, I was able to do a one-arm push-up. And it was amazing. But again, I slacked off and I got comfy. And it caught up to me again. This has been my story with this medical condition. It's back and forth thing. But had I continued to use my time wisely, I would be in great shape now. And better than I probably was before I got this medical condition. I had a goal for the summer to regain my six-pack. I failed. That didn't happen. So first I was like, well, let me go to the next summer, because I'm so busy with work, but I just started, instead of waiting for the summer, I'm trying to do that now. But this condition affects everything. It affects everything. It makes me tired. It makes me sore. It makes me in pain. I get cramps. I have pinched nerves at times. And just all these other ailments that you wouldn't know by just looking at me. So when my son wants to play, sometimes I can't. I have to tell him no. And when he wants me to pick him up like I used to put him up on his bed, I have to say no because some part of my body is hurting me. And it's all my fault. I can't blame it on just natural age. There's something I could have done to prevent it, and I haven't been doing it. I wasn't using my time wisely. And this just transcends to other things. I was supposed to enroll into college again so I could study to be a guidance counselor during the summer, but I didn't use my time wisely during the summer, and I didn't. Do it now, but I still haven't. Worried about being the boy instead of the boy. Just saying, oh yeah, I'm going to go back to college, and it never happens if I don't do it at some point. Now, this is just me physically. But how is my spiritual life looking? How am I looking spiritually? So I'm going to start from when I started going back to church. I don't start before because I don't really think that's when my walk became what it is now. When I started going back, I wasted so much time with friends and going to churches that I knew weren't preaching the truth, that they just weren't even following the Bible that was in front of them. And I was just seeking entertainment instead of God's truth. I was seeking like good music around, people I could socialize with that had common interests and things like that I wasn't looking for. And it slowed down my spiritual growth. So I wasted time on ships I knew it wouldn't work out. I could change it. And I'm being selfish and selfish, unfruitful. I couldn't give it to myself or my faith to people asked. I couldn't really say why I believe this or that. Because I wasn't really trying to get to know God. So others can quote the Bible back and front and have all this wealth of spiritual knowledge and the history of the Bible. I've been playing catch up. I've been trying to learn these things now. Think of my sermons and my classes, and I know my sermons would be so much better had I not wasted all that in the world of the past. Had I not wasted all that time Christian, and not my studies, if I took my spiritual growth seriously, and if I worked on it daily, in the past, I know it would be better. But like my workouts, at some point in my life, I was on point. You know, I see you, Britzy. I'll call on you later. I was praying. I was taking my vitamins, as they say, spiritual vitamins. I was getting good, you know, I was learning to preach, and I was learning to teach, and just all these things. I was gaining a wealth of knowledge, but the winds and the waves of life, they constantly hit us, right? They never stop. And they got in the way, and I started to slack off, and I foolishly thought that the spiritual strength that I had gathered inside me would sustain me. That it would be strong enough. But nope. I started to get weak. And I could spend hours watching YouTube, and I could read articles, and I could read comics, and I could play video games. But the second I started reading the Bible, for some reason, start falling asleep and just knock out, even if it was something entertaining. You know, I could break the night doing all those other things, and sometimes I just couldn't sleep because I have like a part-time insomnia and restless. But the second I started praying, I passed out. And then once I ended prayer, wait, my spiritual muscle weaker and weaker. Because of my time for things in this world, and it started to affect me, it started to bring me down. Yes, Chris. Thank you. I remember when my brother, I was over and this goes. And I had he came, he sit down, and he made me. I said, then what God wanted me to do, and you're going to be all right all your life. He did. But that doesn't mean that the stuff I do does help for others. And when I to slack off, it affected me, but it also, you know, to help her, like everyone else here. I'm an example, and I barely had the spiritual energy to pray alone and read alone, that I wasn't praying with her. I wasn't including her in that. I wasn't reading the word with her and really working on being one body in Christ together. I wasn't doing these things. You know, and I could tell her what the Bible said. I could tell her the truth. And I could give her good spiritual advice, and I was being a positive example in some instances. Like I wasn't cursing, and I would wake up and I would be positive and I would be and things like that. But not when it came to showing what true spiritual strength looks like, especially as a couple. Not when it came to using my time wisely to build us together up as Christians and not just myself. And I look back and I think of how much time I once wasted again. And how far would I be with my preaching and teaching and knowledge if I didn't waste my time? The fact that preaching and another preacher preaching. And would my wife have the struggle now? Would she have found her way out of her darkness sooner? Now, I know we are all accountable for ourselves. You know, I'm accountable for myself. She is herself. And at the end of the day, our life, we'll each give an account. Supposed to be one body. We get married. And just like her actions affect me, mine affect her. So I believe I was more of a hindrance, help, and weak, and not uplifting her and trying to more than one body. I wasted the time Christ granted me. And now, like I said, I'm playing catch up. And I'm just praying. I didn't ruin opportunities He placed before me, whether it was